This is it. Today is the day. The advanced final child tax credit payment went out today. We know that you have questions about this, and to answer them, we have Ryan Dodson from Liberty Tax Services. He will be answering our questions until about 5:45 or so. Here's how you get your question answered. The number is 336-379-5775. Remember, text your questions and you can get your question answered in real time. And this is, again, one of those things where you can't call your question in, but you can text it in. All right, Ryan, so today, the last day, when we're talking about the amounts, the regular average amount that folks would get whether they had a kid from 0 to 17, let's take a look at those amounts.
All right, what's great about these kids is that, if you're getting the additional child tax credit, if you have a child under 6 years old, you're going to get $3,600. If you have a kid that's older than 6, you're going to get $3,000. And they increase it just for this year. It's been proposed for the upcoming years, but for this year, you're at least going to get more child tax credit.
Okay, and so you're going to get half of that $3,000 or the $3,600. So we got 6 different payments from July all the way to December. Then what happens after the December?
So the way you get the other half is when you file your tax return this upcoming year, whether you file it in February or March or April, but before the deadline, you're then going to be able to claim the other half of that child tax credit. Now, if for some reason you did not get that child tax credit, or you didn't get all of your payments, you can then claim the part that you didn't receive in 2021, of course, and you can claim it on your tax return whenever you get around to filing it this year.
Okay. All right. So I want to just take a look at why people were getting this to begin with. So it's not quite free money. So we've got a graphic up there that will show you kind of how it's all part of the American Rescue Plan. And so when the president put this into effect, he upped the amount that you would get, but also the government was sending it out in monthly installments so that you didn't have to wait. And it was in the hopes that it would be able to spur the economy and to help you provide for your child, whether that would be schooling or whatever the needs are for that. But then the rest of it would come to fruition on tax day. So with this, Ryan, so people are kind of like, sometimes people are like, all right, well, what am I going to get taxed on this money, on these advanced payments?
And no, the answer to that is no. You're not going to get taxed on it. This is considered a refundable tax credit. Whether you owe $1 or whether you don't owe anything in taxes, if you have a qualifying child on your tax return, you are going to get this credit one way or another, either through one of the 6 payments, or you'll get the remainder when you file the tax return. So it is not taxable.
All right, so it is not taxable, but it is a credit on your taxes. So let's put this up as well. So let's say you didn't get the payment today, or you don't get the check that's in the mail, or maybe you think that you got missed out on some of the payments, like for some reason they prorated it, or you didn't get all of it, or you didn't get every single month. What you are going to do is claim the credit on your taxes. Now, Ryan, let's be really specific about this because it's not something that happens automatically. You actually have to go by line on your taxes to make sure you get this.
Yeah, absolutely. You do have to go line by line on the tax return and make sure that you are getting the correct amount. Now, part of the way the IRS is going to make sure that you're getting the correct amount is that in late December and in January, they're going to start mailing out letters to anyone who received the advanced child tax credit, letting them know, hey, look, for this kid with this Social Security number, here's how much of the advanced credit you did receive. And you need to make sure you use that amount in filing your tax return. Otherwise, if you put the wrong amount down compared to what the IRS has, it will delay your refund.
Okay, so say that one more time for me at the end. I don't want people to miss that.
And so if you put down the wrong amount of advanced child tax credit that you receive, if it's different than what is on the IRS letter. So my whole point is that you have to put down what is on that IRS letter on your tax return, that, hey, look, I did receive these advanced credits. And if it does not match for whatever reason that may be, and you file your tax return, the IRS will delay your refund and will delay sending out the remainder of that part until they have it cleared up.
Okay, so you need to be watching for that letter, and that letter is going to be coming out, I don't know, sometime like January, early February, that kind of thing, and it will say how much you got for your child tax credit. That is not the only thing, of course, that we get in the mail. We need to make sure that we're watching for lots of IRS letters in the mail, yes?
Correct. They're sending not only those out, they're also sending out letters for those folks who may have received the premium tax credit for their insurance. If their insurance is subsidized through, for lack of better words, Obamacare, they should be looking for those letters that are coming out. And look, if you do happen to move, if you happen to change your address, please let the IRS know that you've changed it. There's a form on the IRS website you can do to fill that out, number one. And number two, forward your mail from the United States Postal Service. Just have them forward that mail, because these are letters that you do not want to miss out on. You don't want to delay your tax refund waiting on these letters.
Nope, we've already had lots of stories about delayed tax refunds already this year. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break, and we're back with your text questions coming up in just a few minutes.